Hi, welcome to the Freeman Conversations. I'm Joe Berth-Ocal, the online editor of the Freeman. We are live now here at the Fuerte Police Station, and with me today for Power Women are two women who are not afraid to make a difference, and women who were not afraid to break the glass ceiling. This is Power Women, our tribute to women who are not afraid to make a difference. And joining us today are the Police Chief of the Fuerte Police Station, Police Chief Inspector Theresa Macatangay, and Police Superintendent Rafter. She's the Chief of the Cebu Provincial Investigation and Detective Management Branch. Thank you very much both for being with us today. Happy Women's Month.
Thank you.
Attorney Macatangay also, and Ma'am Rafter, thanks for joining us for this special episode of Power Women. Okay, you are in a service or an agency that for the longest time has been dominated by men.
Yeah.
I think my first question would have to be, why did you decide to join the Philippine National Police? And let us start.
Yeah. Actually, my father was also a non-commissioned officer, so I saw him like doing the police service also since I grew up to like before I graduated actually from the academy, which is retired in 2003. I graduated 2004, so wala nilang abot. But I think it's also like the challenge. Like, why can they do this? The men can do this, and then there were just only few women by then. So
this was around what year?
I joined like 2000. Yeah, but when I was still young, na-feel ko na nga, why only there were like only few women out of this, the police stations, there were only like 3 women or 10, more than 10 men. So parang that was when the challenge started.
Did that surprise you at that point? Why majority of policemen are men?
When I joined the service, I really didn't find anything different. It's just like maybe you have the courage maybe to join or something like to make a. Para kasi before, if you join the PNP or like even before like the PC, pag mag-join ka sa PNP, you're like deviant, you're different from the other women. You're like tomboy.
You're the unique one.
Yeah, you're like they have this connotation like boyish. But unfortunately, when I get into the organization, it's nothing like that. Just like an ordinary organization. I think you just have to take the challenge.
What about you?
Well, apart from my father is a former member of the Philippine Constabulary, so we have been greatly influenced by that. Most of my siblings are in the government service. Another thing, even during my student years, I have always been a student leader. And I find that this particular job is a very good platform for me to be able to exercise and develop more my leadership skills. So that's why I chose to be part of the organization.
As in getting it, there's a certain extent an influence from the family. You've been exposed to the service in your families, but was there ever a conscious call from your family? Join us, be one of us.
Well, on my part, no. My parents was very supportive about the endeavors and the dreams that we want to fulfill. But this is basically the reason why I also took up law, because in our family, almost every one of us are already in the service, and apparently there's no other kind of profession. So
aside from being a police officer, Mama Macatangay is also a lawyer.
Yeah.
Passed the bar last year.
And thus I entered into this second profession.
What about you?
Actually, there was no something encouraged me to join the PNP, something like that. Actually, at first, I just want just like her. I was also a member of this SK before the first SK. I was Sangguniang Kabataan. And among us, the councilors, they were like the chairman, and then I think there were like 7 of them. I just want to go out of the comfort zones of the parang hindi ako boyish, hindi ako tomboy, but I mean, I just want challenges. Tapos by then, I started really like her. Parang doon ko na I started there, my leadership. Parang that's when I started to organize people. Parang nag-challenge ako nga, mas pwede siya, and if you have to. That's when like, because as I've said, my father was a policeman, so every time
Where was your father assigned?
From Mindanao. I'm from Mindanao. I'm remote area. Sa Boca del Sur. We are a types of municipality, very province-like. So, when I was there, nagkatugbalon, kung papa was on duty. So, I read this Philippine National Police Academy poster. That's when I started it's leadership, something like that. So, that's when I started my, that's when the motivation started.
I see. What about you? When did you decide to eventually join the service?
I specifically remember I was at second year college. I was taking a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology in University of San Carlos then. And then, well, I just...
Rafter is from Mindanao. You are
from
really from Cebu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at that time, it dawned to me, like, literally it was dawn. So it dawned to me during that time, like, I do not want to live a life facing the computer in front of me. So
But why did you take up IT in college?
Well, at that time, it was one of the courses that are in demand.
Okay.
Yeah, back then, together with computer science. That's quite ironic during that time. I belonged to the visitors group during that time, but still I decided that joining the organization is more apt or in tune to the kind of person I am. So that's why I chose to be part of the.
And what is that person?
To be able to exude your leadership skills, you'll be able to get more in touch with people in the community, to be able to affect more change and influence people according to the principles that are powering you. So this is the best platform that anyone who has that type of character to be in. They say that to be part of this organization, you can really affect changes in your little jurisdiction. And I think I did not commit any mistake in deciding to pursue a career in the police service.
It's very nice to know. Both of you are graduates of the National Police Academy. That's the PNPA. In fact, you met also there.
Yeah.
When you entered as a freshman.
Yeah.
You call yourself a freshman? First year?
We call ourselves, when I entered the academy, Ma'am Rafter is is already the first class cadet.
First class cadet.
Or in Lay's term, it's fourth year.
Yeah.
Graduating. And I was their pleb. Yeah, that time.
Technically, that's what we call you guys in PNPA. First class, and then when you enter, you are a pleb.
Yeah.
Fourth class.
Fourth class cadet.
Fourth class cadet. So what were the challenges that you faced when you entered PNPA? What kind of demands does the academy require from those who enter PNPA?
So, for me, I don't.
Or before we go there, what are the requirements for you to be able to get into PNPA?
You have to be at least like 5'2" for
Well, basically, the requirements expected from a male is also expected of a female. The only difference that we get to do is the number of push-ups and the number of sit-ups that we're going to do, of course, because of the biological nature of the woman. So apparently, apart from that, everything's the same.
Yeah, but sometimes although you just are, for example, like the ladies or the women, we're just like, you're only up to here because like, as she said, it's a physiological build-up by women. Sometimes you can't really, no matter how much you try, physically, there are physical constraints, but regardless of that, in the academy, sometimes you really need to at par with the males like that. So parang I don't see any particular requirement for male or female. That's
To a certain extent, was there any form of discrimination, perhaps,
no,
against the gender?
I don't feel discriminated.
Me too. I think people who felt discriminated, maybe there's something wrong. I don't know with how they give birth to themselves. If you know how you are worth, then I do not think you will feel discriminated.
In other words, everyone is measured in PNPA according to merit or according to competence.
Exactly. Maybe that's the least requirement, the competence and the merit. Everything in the academy is based on merit, regardless if you're a male or female, academically or physically.
How is a student in PNPA molded? What do they do to you inside PNPA?
Yeah, it was a regimented life. Like we have to go together, and like of course, it's a different school. You are instilled discipline from the very first time you join there. And it's a different kind. It's a university kasi you have your individual lives. And the academy, you live a regimented life where one goes, everybody goes. So if one eats, everybody eats. So it's like that. So I think that's a part. It's also maybe training you to how to go with other people, how to adjust. Because as you go on, you will meet a lot of people, especially for example like you, like me. I was a chief of police of Malampan. So it's a matter also of like maybe like starting to discipline. It's how you adjust to other people's lives also. Because as I said, when you go to the station, although you're the chief of police, but you can't expect, you don't instill like everybody has to follow you. Sometimes you just have really adjustments to make.
Attorney Macatangay, before she joined the PNPA, she took up IT. What about you, ma'am?
Actually, I was a graduate of AB Political Science. I really wanted to be a lawyer also here. So, but that's it. That was when like, yun na nga, parang I decided, I think, I can't say no, I'm not banging myself, my own chair, but I think I'm really unempowered ever since. Ever since I was small, I'm really like, why can't we do this? I'll try this, something like that, because when I just like I said, like I was still on my second year high school, fourth year high school when I joined the SP without my parents knowing it. Like somebody was just telling me, join because I was also like leaders and school leaders and school organizations. So somebody told me that you can be in our lineup. So I immediately joined. I campaigned in the barangay, in our production. So I made it to the list, but I think it's just, I wonder also like, why only there were only like a lot of male among this group, why can't I just join? So parang, I think that's what I said. I think I am empowered since I was small. Maybe also of how the parents brought you up. Because my mom is a disciplinarian, so he wants us to empower. Parang mother namin, siya ginanda ko sa mga mga, you can do this. And my father was a policeman, so he just sometimes go already at night, do the duties.
Before your current positions, you held other positions in the Philippine National Police.
Yes.
You, attorney, were...
Yeah, my first taste of a command, really, you were the commander, was my assignment in Pinamungahan as the
Chief of Police
back then. That was around in 2008 or 2009, if I'm not mistaken. Then after which I was assigned as the Chief of the Regional Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force. And in addition to that was also the Chief of the Counterintelligence and Security Branch in the regional office, Regional Intelligence Office. So quite significant field, but very significant posts.
Correct, yeah.
Quite challenging as well.
Yes. Tell us about your experience in those positions.
Well, my first time as a commander in Pinamungahan is very young back then. And
You were how old, if I may ask?
23 or 24, I
Okay.
think, during that time. And I was commanding a unit. The ages of the personnel there were like a father to me. Their children have the same age
As you?
as
that
mine.
point,
That's mine. The people you're going to, enforce the law and municipal ordinance they're in are the same age as you are, so it's quite difficult. So you have there. I learned, by the way, that in leadership, it doesn't only mean that you are going to implement, instruct them to do these things. No? It's also influencing them, no? Because if you're just going to implement, sometimes they won't do it. Sometimes they will give you a hard time following the orders, especially so you're a woman.
Yeah.
So you have to influence them. How? You walk your talk. If you say every day I want to see you in uniform, so every day you have to be in uniform. If you don't want them to go on a drinking spree during the time that they're on duty, then you have to do some rounds in order to ensure that they're doing the things that you're prohibiting them to do. You know, there's a lot of work in the station that we forgive me for saying this, but normal women of our age have not actually experienced at all. Of course, because they're not police, no? But apart from that, those things. And another thing is, I learned that leading this kind of unit, you do not only enforce, but you also educate. And I think if you're able to influence at the same time educate, then I think you're on your way to a good leader. For my part.
How many were under you at the time?
In Pinamangahan, there were 24 police under my command.
Were you the only female?
Yeah, at that time I was the only chief of police woman at that time. All the rest were males. And under my jurisdiction, there were 26 barangays. There are only 24 of us. In Rafter, the Human Trafficking Task Force, 20% are females, or the rest are males. And we do like surveillance at night, arrests, and those things.
And your agency was very aggressive at that point because that was when cases of cyber pornography.
It was the time that the PRO7 shared material in removing the nation from the tier 2 watch list to the tier 2 level.
Correct.
In the global, we call this one global position, I suppose, of those who are heavily trampled by human trafficking.
Human trafficking, yes.
And currently now, I have so many men under me. So, 69, I think.
Here is the police, the police.
Around 70.
Station 2.
70.
Okay. Before we move further into your career, let's talk to Ma'am Rafter. How was your, what were the positions you had?
Actually, after graduation from the academy, because I was from Mindanao, I am from Mindanao, so that was then my first assignment. So it was, because there, like, especially if you just graduated, you will be like given several tasks. Maybe it's just like part of, it's a really very good start because you will be exposed to different fields. There was a time that I was like a group commander of this, the so-called the PPSC now. It was the mobile group of province. It's a Macatangay source. So I was the only actually female there, and I was the PCO, the only PCO, the only female among them. Maybe 60, something like that. It's like a one company of theirs. So I was there was like a time when we like raided municipal police station. I almost like fought in the roll-up door because we were going inside the establishment and against this certain personality, and actually it was named like that during the PRD list, but it was no longer there. So that was a challenging one because as she said, you're the only like a female officer there. You're all parang you will be really searching for what you have to do. That's why like sometimes your initiative will really tell you what to do. Your intuition, female intuition, they said. After that, I was moved up to the regional office in Police Regional Office 9, and then I was doing administrative job there. And after that, I was like
Region 9, by the way, covers what areas?
Sambuanga del Sur, Sambuanga del Norte, and Sambuanga del Sibugay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Mindanao. So it's after that I was like when the DIPO, if you know, like the Director for Integrated Police Operation for Western Mindanao, that was really the challenge was because I have to move from Zamboanga, Basilan, and Sulu and Tawi-Tawi. That was when the campaign against this extremists in Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi. That was when I handled the first case of the ICRC hostage, the International Community Red Cross, Cross, like there was this Italian. That was my first handling of a hostage case like that. So it was really very challenging. I was actually 4 months pregnant. I have to ride on a speedboat.
When you were handling the case?
I have to go to Sulu. I have to go to Basilan because that was when the height of this Abu Sayyaf.
Yes.
That was like the mid of 2000 actually. So.
What did your husband tell you?
My husband has different. He has different like. He is a foreigner, so he doesn't really care about it. As long as you can do your job, as long as he's really into that, they can understand your job. Like I was ready. I think 2 months pregnant. I was riding on these speedboats going to this area. We have to travel at night going to Sulu. But that's what I said. She said like. When you feel like I don't really feel discriminated because regardless of what was my task given to me, regardless of the consequences, you really have to do it because you joined the service. So you cannot just make an excuse. No, I'm sorry, I'm pregnant. I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't ride that. So that's why you join there. You'll be expected to be at par with the rest. You know, you cannot just make an excuse that I'm a lady. I cannot join that. I cannot ride that. It's so hard for me to jump there. So maybe so that's why and then after that that was the most challenging place. That's the most challenging part of my career because you have to. Aside that, I haven't gone to those places because the challenge there, if you remember, that was really when the heights of these campaigns were. Secretary Puno, we used to work with Secretary Puno, by then he was the secretary because they have really this intense campaign against these bandits in Mindanao area because kidnapping incidents like a week will cry if there was no kidnapping incident, and mostly they will target like government paid teachers like that. That was when like they were making it like a means of people actually. That was really my. And then after that, I went to Camprame. I was doing administrative job, and then I was actually like 18 years in the service, unknowingly, I haven't gone to. So actually, my latest.
So fast.
I really. I was looking at the graduation earlier. Like, I was nostalgic. Like I was the one marching there before, and anyway, but another one was I was the chief of the Balamban Police Station. I was just out there maybe a week ago. So that was really quite challenging.
How long were you chief of police?
I was like 6 months because I was promoted. I'm actually overranked there, so they have to really promote me there. So it was really very challenging because Balamban is very progressive town. It is actually 87,000 more or less people, and not counting the people going into the Chunishi factory. I think there are like 15,000 there coming from Tuburan, the nearby municipalities. So Toledo. So aside from that 87,000, we have that's what I said. We have another people coming in from the different municipalities, and then I only have like 23 at first, 23 men under me.
Were you also the only woman in the police station?
No, I have other 2 police women under me, but I am the only police commission officer there. So So it was a challenge securing these people, like 87,000 compared to 26 or 23 men. It's something like going on the right ratio of 1:3,000, something like that. But fortunately, we made it. That's what I said, that it's not really a matter of like how big your resources are. Sometimes because we have also, you have to tap other, your initiative will goes in also. Because if you just rely on the resources of the organization, among us, it will really be not enough.
Yeah.
It's very limited. So your initiative, if you just magbuhat lang ka of what will come in from the organization,
nothing happens.
Yeah, but it's not enough. You can really do your job. So we have our LGUs, the supported LGUs. It's just a matter of tapping them. So I think we made it. So that's what I said. I don't believe really on how the scarcity of the resources will limit your initiatives or your programs. It's just like how you make initiatives to fulfill your programs.
And how you make your current resources work for you.
Efficiency. That's when like efficiency. How efficient you are. So in terms of using your resources. But that's why I said that it's a challenge because you're just given this, but we cannot expect so much also that everything will be given to us because we know that we have other stakeholders who are willing to help us. So that's when, like I said, but we made it. So we were able to, I think, we were like awarded as one of the 10 most performing police stations of the 50 police stations of Cebu province. Yeah. So thank you. So that's why I said that it's not really about the resources. The challenge there in the organization is not about the resources. They will continue. PNP has a very limited resources. Like every organization has really very limited resources. You can just, everything will be given to you. Even in private sectors, you have certain you have to program the resources, just like in the PNP. But that's what I said. It's just like how you initiate, how you make your resources, how to be efficient of using your resources, how to make initiative to help other people to help you. Because definitely in the community, there are many people who are willing to help the PNP.
Attorney Macatangay gave us her definition of what leadership is earlier, and she mentioned about being able to also educate and inspire others to influence others. What about you? How do you define leadership?
Leadership is just what I said. It's like maybe another word for influence. It's just like motivating people how to accomplish the job. It's like actually it goes also with policy and enforcement. You cannot just enforce the law without like policy. So you have to reach out to the community that these are, because the community, the government, or like we have a lot of laws. We don't need to, in our law, for example, in Malanga, we have several ordinances that we just like to be enforced. So people forget about it. So we have this ordinance. So at first you have to, that's what I said, enforcement and policy goes together. You cannot just leave on enforcement with the policy, because definitely the problem just goes back. It will be just a vicious cycle. So you have to educate them. We have this. It's part of policy. So after that, you have to, after educating them, that's when like maybe you have to enforcement and policy. For the PN, for me, as in the PNP service, policy and enforcement goes together. And just like I said, it's about like, it's just another word for influence. It's like motivating people, like making them move, because.
And it's often the most difficult thing to do, how to make people move.
Yeah.
Move with you.
Maybe you have to lead by example. That's always the principle in the leadership. The most example, and the most important principle in leadership is to have to lead by example. You cannot just lead people without you have the integrity to lead them. You say you are anti-corruption and yet you are.
Yes.
So how can you tell people this? What is your face to face your people? How to instill in them that you're not allowed to receive money like that. So issues like that. So at least if you are a leader, you really have to show that you are leading them the right way. Don't lead them that. So you have to set targets. You have to set by leading them. You cannot just you can just set targets without you leading them. Diba? So I don't feel that, I think for me, they said that leaders, I have to, leaders, kaya nga leader, because you have the one to lead them. You cannot just sit there. Maybe you can just sit there or I tell people how to do it, but you still have this motivation to make them work. That's really, they said it's hard to make, it's hard to make people work. Yeah, it's hard to make people work if you're not also working, if you're not also showing them how to make them happen.
Yeah, correct.
Because you cannot also like assess them, you cannot evaluate them, how far have they gone. If you're not working, if you're just telling them, go arrest
if you
this
don't know
guy.
basics, yeah.
So how can you make it like, so not like target setting, it's not actually target setting, but on this target setting, you cannot just say that this is our target, but this is our target. This is not just to be like, it's not your, it's always a team effort. It's always a team effort. You cannot do it alone, they cannot do it all by themselves too.
Let me ask you both, what do you think are your qualities as a woman that make you effective in what you do?
For me, that's what I said earlier. I think empowerment and confidence. Other than that, you don't need to be very intelligent to lead people. You just have to believe in yourself, have that confidence that you can do it. Because even if you how much is intelligent or how much you are, if you don't have that confidence, there's not really use for it. Sometimes they would say, discarte is really very good. That's what you need to survive discarte. Because even
how does a woman make discarte in the police service, for example?
Kasi for me, although she's not yet a mother, I think the being a mother also like makes you lead your men more. I'm not comparing give us this month, it's a women's month, so it's all about us.
Yes, it's all about you.
So, I think it's being also, they said, forgive me, excuse sa mga men, but they said that women are better leaders because they have this mother's intuition. They have this mother's instinct for you. Because definitely you have this empathy. You have empathy. You can empathize with people, the victims, sometimes like that. Because for me, like I was at Chico Police in November, I really talk to people. I really engage to people, like no matter how he was an offender or he was a victim. I have this you have this mother instinct. What happens? Because sometimes people will feel at ease. They will tell you what happened. So that mother instinct in me, I think, makes me. That mother instinct among women mother leaders makes them. Well, of course, the single ladies also make. But for me, that being a mother, I would also have this empathy. The empathy, you have to empathize with people. Make yourself in their place. Otherwise, you cannot understand them. So that's why, like I said earlier, sometimes in leading your men, you just have to strictly implement what you want. You have to make adjustment also. Otherwise, sabi niya, pag wala ka, wala na yun.
What about the attorney? Your thoughts?
Yeah, for my part, I think what sets, particularly I'm talking myself, right? So what sets me apart is that I'm a visionary. So every time I get to hold office, my first question in my mind is, where will I take that unit? So I set my goals, I set my direction, and charter my way towards it. So that's how that's who I am, and I think makes my leadership peculiar in the units that I have handled. Then, apart from that, you have your vision already. I'm also a go-getter. So if I have my eyes fixed on a particular vision, I am more than determined to go there. So
well, you took up law while already in the service.
Yes, true. I was juggling my studies and my work and personal life as well. So it's really quite a challenge for me. So you have your vision set towards a direction, you are a determined person. I'm a determined person, a go-getter. If I fix my mind on a particular thing, I will see to it that be able to achieve it. So in all the units that I have been assigned, there's always a vision in my mind where to take that unit with me. So, for example, the Rafter, the Regional Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force, we have been recipients of many awards, foreign, national, and local, because of the many achievements that the team were able to do during my time as their leader in that particular organization. So we were awarded at Macatangay, we were awarded the Grand Year. So aside from that, being a woman, and that sets us apart from the men, we do things with grace. So we do things with grace. No? And more courtesy, I suppose, than men. So we are, well, for my part, a visionary, a go-getter, but all these things with grace and courtesy. So that makes us where we are right now.
I see, very nice. Do you think consciously of your gender, of your being a woman, when you function in your positions?
I haven't really thought that. I'm not considering myself as, I mean, like, on the, in the organization, no, I don't really consider myself that I am, I'm just among them. I'm just one of them.
Okay.
So, I mean that, like, no. I'm basically, or generally speaking, I'm one of the PNP members. I don't see myself as I'm a lady PNP person. I don't see it.
So when you enter a room, you are a police officer.
Yeah.
That's it. What about you?
Well, on my part, in terms of managing affairs of a unit, I don't see myself really looking me a female and my subordinates male or my colleagues male. I look at each other. I look at these things based on competency and merit. So if you are competent, then you have my respect. If you do not have that competence, then I will build you to have that competence in you. So that's how you go my way. But of course, you cannot take away the woman in us. When we enter into a particular room, we want someone opening the door for us, right? We want someone carrying the things for us. You know, I think that's well, that's how everything is wired in our environment, and I don't see any problem with the way things are in our working environment.
Let me go to your current positions. Ma'am Rafter is head of the Cebu Provincial Investigation and Detective Management Branch. What does your unit do exactly?
Basically the investigation we do, like for example, like there are complaints coming in against an area where PNP personnel, we do the investigation like that. Basically, it's like about gathering evidence to support such, for example, like to support how true or to prove or disprove such allegations. Exactly like that. It's like we investigation generally.
How many personnel do you have in your team?
I have the CSI. That's what, like, the CSI is under me. The crimes and investigation, the WCPC, the women, and then I have in the office. I have like more or less 27.
27.
Yeah, actually, under me now. So.
What about the other? How many now in Station 2?
There are around 70 personnel under my command, and
all men?
Well, except for I have 3 women.
Okay.
PNC also.
Okay. And your area is one of the most.
Yeah, Police Station 2 is really, you are on the limelight of everything.
Yes.
If you're assigned in Station 2, apart from the fact that your area covers majority of the route of Sinulog,
yes.
your Station 2 also has jurisdiction over the more number of commercial and accommodation industry
Right.
here in Cebu
For the
City.
benefit of those who might not be from Cebu City and might not be very familiar with the landscape geography, police station 2 actually covers the area near the Fuerte Circle. So these are the areas that her station looks after,
From
day in and day out.
from Escario, you know,
Yeah.
you go there, you drink coffee in Starbucks. That's under my jurisdiction. You check in hotels, any hotel there in Park Lane West and the surrounding hotels there, it's under my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Then suddenly you decided that you would take some running, you know, sports. You go to Avellana and do some runs there, still under my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And those things.
Is there any commercial establishments along General Maxwell Avenue?
True.
Yeah.
Those things are under my supervision, my jurisdiction.
We heard that you have recently had a conversation with hotel owners
Oh yeah.
in your area.
Oh yeah. Since my assumption here last year, June, my first order of business, again, we go back to the vision. Where am I going to take Station 2? So I developed a project called Capacitating Community Stakeholders. So what I did is organize first all the songs, because that's really the main concern of the PNP, safety and security of the community. So in my case, I tapped the security officers, managers, and supervisors, and I just called them songs for whatever reason. So we have Station 2 songs. And then with that relationship we had with them, it was able to grow, and then we reached the hearts of the general managers and the owners of the hotels. And actually,
How many hotels, by the way, in your area?
we have
Roughly?
around, if I'm not mistaken, 36 high-end hotels and around 48 pension houses and inns. So all this comprises the accommodation industry here in our area. And we have been doing lecture series with them. We have been doing simulation exercises with the establishments. And right now, we are very much elated with the move of this sector. They would want to come up with a memorandum of agreement with the PNP because they've seen how we're able to show our sincerity in terms of our anti-criminality efforts. That's why they want to push the envelope a little farther.
The initiative is now coming from the community.
Yeah, the initiative is now coming from the community, particularly this sector, to come up with a MOA, a memorandum of agreement, supporting the government's campaign against illegal drugs. And I think that is a very resounding affirmation coming from the community that we are doing right in our area of jurisdiction. And that to me is, with or without medals, with or without accolades, that to me is already a very great accomplishment, not only by me, but all the members of this unit as well.
Very nice, and I agree to that. And my next question actually is, and very nice way to point that out, my next question is, does it matter to you as leaders that the people around you or the public recognizes or acknowledges what you do at the end of the day? Does it matter?
For my part, it doesn't actually. The type of person I am is not working towards accolades, towards merits, towards ribbons and medals, but towards improving myself. I think that's the secret that everyone should be able to acquire in themselves.
That's no longer a secret.
Yeah, it's not a secret anymore since I'm going to share it with you. Let us stop comparing ourselves with others. Let us try to improve ourselves towards excellence. No? Because if you start comparing yourself with others, there's a coin called desiderata.
Yes.
You will become vain, you will become bitter, and then sins are going to be done, crimes are going to be done because of the jealousy, because of whatever, right? But if you start just to develop yourself towards excellence, you will achieve heights that you can only imagine. So before I can only imagine of these things happening in my life, but because I did not compare myself with others. I just improved myself, my worth, my competence, my everything by studying, by reading, and exposing myself to good books, and listening to the wisdom of people, dull and very bright, you know, because you learn a lot of things from them.
Correct.
You know? And with that, you become the individual that you want to become. So that is what I want to share with everyone. So it's not secret anymore.
Not a secret anymore. Very nice. Yes, Ma'am Rafter.
For
Does it
me,
matter to you?
yeah. I don't really, it doesn't really matter if like people will give you accolades or like it's good words about like how good have you done, because for me also there's no really measure about like I don't really measure my competence about my competence with regards about the people's admiration to you, about your accolades that you have received. Although yeah, of course, definitely it helped boost your confidence, but it's not really a matter of like you're working for recognition. You really don't work for recognition. For me, I don't really work for recognition, but as long as I know I have given my best, I know that what I have done will is best for everybody. I don't wait for like recognition from other people, because if you will base your performance or yourself on recognition of other people, you will never be satisfied with it. No, you will never be satisfied, because eventually you will be given this recognition, and then you will be focused on that without like although it doesn't really matter, although it will help you go through your goal, but along the way, it's not just the accolades or the recognition that will really that is important, because you might not be able to get other people, because as they said you will never satisfy people. If you will
never please everyone.
You can never please everyone. So if you wait for everybody's recognition, everybody's thumbs up, you will never be satisfied. And then you might be stepping on other people's lives, or other people. You might be stepping on them just for you to get accolades or recognition. So it's not really like focusing on recognition alone. It's not. I don't believe on recognition. I of course it helped me, but relying on that alone, or relying on that, although it will help just boost your confidence, but definitely you will never satisfy other people, and eventually you will be centering your works as a self-move without like thinking of other people, because you're just aiming for accolades and recognition.
And you will never satisfy yourself.
Yeah, you'll never satisfy yourself, because as you go along, you don't like this anymore, you need more approval. And like, definitely, you will never get that. Nobody will really approve you. There might be majority, but I don't think unanimous approval.
I think that's what's happening now on social media. We always people try to compare themselves with others.
We just follow this, Theresa. Yeah, with the academy, you will be first. You will ask to memorize the 11, how many paragraphs?
You'll have to memorize it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that we have learned in the academy has taught us is that every time you enter into a unit, you must leave a legacy. Whether you're a female officer or a male officer, leave a legacy for that unit, for the unit to remember you by the time.
Good legacy.
The leadership.
It's very nice. If I may ask, you are unquestionably both very empowered women. Who do you look up to in the area of leadership and service? Do you have idols?
For my part, the wind beneath my wings, my nanay. She's my nanay is a public school teacher, and despite that, she's able to juggle work. She's able to juggle the demands of a housewife, and children at some point has caused her so much pain and trouble. So, I admire her courage, I admire her determination, I admire her faithfulness, and I admire her understanding. All the strengths of a woman I want to be is with her, and that made a very big influence in my life and how I look at things. So yeah, all credits goes to her. Go to her. Right, all credits goes to you.
What about Rafter? Who do you look up to?
Yeah, of course, Nanay. Generally, because I've said earlier, I wouldn't have this empowered. I wouldn't have this empowered without my mother, because you just need to meet my mother, because you just can also see how empowering she is. But aside from that, I don't really. I think the most empowered woman that I heard, and she said this, sabi ko na nga, by excuse for the men, it's women's month. Tell a man, ask a man what to say, how should I say this? Something like, I think I like Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah. It's because she's very empowered now. Iron Lady.
Iron Lady.
I read her book, and another one also,
And just like you, she broke glass
and
stereotypes.
Stereotyping like that. But I think without one, I like Ingrid. Yeah, I like he's not maybe a leader, but I was listening. I'm just amazed of how this guy have gone through all this political regimes, different.
Many things have happened in the political
and still
arena.
yet he's still there.
He's still there.
Yeah. He's
to a certain extent, you have to give it to him.
Yeah, that's why other people might have that said said good about him, but I mean, just how there's something unique about these people.
How he survives.
How this person, how he survived. Actually, I was reading his book, and it's so amazing. Like, he's really, aside from his brilliance, he's smart. He's really smart. I think he's 94.
Should be somewhere there.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I met him one time at the hotel in Manila. I actually took a picture with him. I don't know siya, because I'm just amazed of how far he has gone up to now. No, without I was reading, like, he came from humble beginning. You will really read his autobiography. I read his book, so I bought it actually. Nakita ko sa flash. So I'm just like I'm just curious about this guy. So as I read it, I was amazed of how did he do it. Like, there's something unique about this guy. So I would like to listen to him talking. I would like to meet him, really.
Okay, before we listen to him, let's listen first to these words these are actually from Meghan Markle, the future wife of Prince Harry. She said in one of the gatherings for Women's Month in the UK, women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice. They only need to feel empowered to use it. And the people need to be encouraged to listen. Do you agree with your thoughts?
I'd like to summarize it down to a word, probably the phrase. Know your worth. That's all. If women will be able to know your worth, individual worths, then I think you will never feel discriminated. You will never feel that you're a lesser species than the others. And in that case, you will not be able to have confidence to freely express yourself, to share your thoughts on a particular matter. So, girls, know your worth. Start from there, and no one can trample upon you, and well, you will know what to do after that.
So for me, it boils down to confidence, really. You know, people are just there are definitely a lot of women there are also like, they know that they can do it. It's just that they don't have the confidence to do it. That's why I'm saying, like, really, you have to go out of your comfort zone, as they always say. You have to go out of your comfort zone because I know you know more than you know that every woman know that they are more than what they are now. It's just like they don't have the confidence to go out of it, to go out of their comfort zone. So once you have to step out, make just a little step. Make a little step, and definitely once you're out there, you will see that the world is it's more a lot better compared to the just shelving under your comfort zone or under the shell. So because I would said no that the community, the society is really like accepting. There's no really bar between a male and a female nowadays. I just like that we have to make ourselves part of it. And just like making ourselves, that's what I said, like we just have the confidence to make ourselves part of it. Otherwise, if you don't go there, you will be regretting for the rest of your lives maybe that, oh, I should have done this, or when you will be older than you are now, but you will see that, oh, how empowered my kids are now, I should have done it when I was at their age. Because women are working above the challenges. We are joining community. We are making changes. That's what they say.
Let me just share, ma'am, a very beautiful line from a book entitled Jonathan Livingston Seagull's. What do you call that one? It's Jonathan Livingston Seagull's book. The line goes, "Break the chains, CHINS. Yeah, break the chains of your thought. You break the chains of your body too. So you will not know your worth. You're stuck in that particular mindset that women cannot do change. Women cannot be where they would want to be. Then you will be stuck in that particular position. But if you break the chains of your thought, that's what in that particular novel of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, you will achieve great heights. You know, you will not be limited by the
what society dictates.
What society dictates of where women should be, because it is already, we've accepted. All women knows that women should be mothers, women should be for the care of the young. We know those things, but of course, we also want to be respected with how we view our lives, how we manage our time, the things that we would want, the person we want to become. We want also people who respect them. In addition to those things that we already know. You need not shove it in our throat, those things that women should do this and that. We know about those things. But right now, things have changed. And I think the change that is we're experiencing now should not benefit only the household, but it benefits also the society in general. So I think there's something good in it.
We're rising like I think although some others see it still like a challenge of being a woman, but I don't see it. But regardless of that, let's rise above the challenge. Let's stay fast. Let's maintain the momentum of getting along. We say that, oh, they're given this chance because they're males. No, let's break that. It's just like you, because you feel like that because you're limiting yourself. Why not if you don't want to be treated like that, just go alone. Go with the men. Go how far they can do, how responsible they are. Because you cannot just the society cannot just make you, or if you're there, or if you're just in your comfort zone, don't expect society to adjust to you. You have that's when you feel like, oh, I'm just like this, I'm just being like this because I'm a woman. No, that's not it. It's just you refuse to join the society. You refuse to play your part in the society. It's like a piece of puzzle that you refuse to put your piece in the main puzzle. So you can expect society to recognize you, make yourself recognized regardless of men and women. It goes to both gender. You can expect that. That's why I said let's get empowered, have the self-confidence. Everybody has the voice. It's just like a matter of the confidence of making this voice out.
Speaking of participation and taking a part in society, please your message to your fellow women who might be interested in joining the Philippine National Police.
to those women who are still like dubious to join the police, the PNP organization, or those who are still, or who are willing or still dubious to join the organization, maybe we're just some of them. You can even be like we're at. You can be more than us. Yeah, you can do better than us. So I think that's what I said. I always say the confidence and empowerment. Join us. There's no holds barred. Men or women, we're equal. Sabi nga ni Margaret Thatcher, if you want something said, excuse again for the men, it's a women's night. No, due courtesy to the men. But according to Margaret Thatcher, if you want something done, if you want something said, as a man. If you want something done, as a woman.
Very nice. Yes.
Yeah. For the women, just know your worth, and if you can, stay pretty and graceful.
Those who might want to join the PNP?
For those, yeah, I think that's it for them. I think Ma'am Rafter have explained it already. But so, as I've said, just know your worth. So when you'll be able to know your worth, then you will know where you will go. So it's simple.
Thank you very much both for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're very glad to have you.
So much power now. More power now.
Of course. And as you said, we're just two.
Yeah.
There are many women who are already in the Philippine National Police, in the military service. We also have women in the military and other agencies in government. And if there are those who might want to join you, how can they get in touch with the PNP, by the way? If they want to apply?
They can search it in the website, and I think all the available information that they need is there.
It's all there.
Thank you, Google.
All right, there you have it. Our guests in today's edition of Power Women. We have Police Chief Inspector Maria Theresa Macatangay, the Chief of Police of Station 2, that's a Supt Police Station, and of course we have Police Superintendent Janet Rafter. She is the Chief of the Cebu Provincial Investigation and Detective Management Branch. Thank you very much for joining us in today's edition of Power Women, and please join us next time as we continue to feature women who are not afraid to make a difference. I am Jobert Ocal, online editor of The Freeman. Thanks for joining us. Until next time here on The Freeman Conversations.
Thank you.